So the challenges we see today with COVID-19 in relation to urban spaces, to public transport and green mobility, of course, causes a challenge. But it also shows us an immense need for public spaces in our cities, recreational spaces in our cities. Actually, overall, transport has dropped, which means that all of a sudden cities all around the world have realized that the street is a public space and it can be used for something else. So we have cities like Berlin rolling out bike lanes. We see all these kind of different things. And I think a lot of what we are also reacting on is saying, well, now is an opportunity to show that we can use the space in our cities in a different way. There is the co-centric city, the one center city, which is the traditional European model. What we see around the world is, of course, cities are growing very, very big, both in Europe, but definitely around the world. And that means we are moving towards a polocentric cities where you have more than one center and where you can say, we have some solutions that work in a traditional city center solutions, but we need to rethink how do we create value for everyone. So it isn't just a few people that can afford, affordability being a big issue in our major cities, but that we can create quality of life to people all around. What COVID-19 has shown is it's given us a very clear insight into what happens when the consume is not in our inner cities. What's really interesting is we did a study during the lockdown in Copenhagen, and we had the exact same, actually almost more people using the public spaces of Copenhagen. So there was a complete, almost a lack of, or a need for more public spaces. But at the same time, the movement, the number of people on the traditional pedestrian street, commercial streets in the inner city center dropped with 80 to 90%. So in a period where people are actually missing public spaces, they still chose not to use the traditional retail consumption spaces. For me, that was sort of a proof of something I had a feeling about for a while, is that they don't maybe have a quality anymore as a public space. And I think maybe that's also part of the retail's challenge, that we need spaces in our inner city that create life quality, that creates leisure, that creates recreation, that invite for sustainable behavior. So we often say what we do in our projects is we measure, and then we test, often with pilot projects or temporary projects, and then we refine and make things permanent. And that's also a way, of course, of engaging people to do citizen engagement. When you do something temporary, you have immediately people's evaluation because either they used it or they don't use it, and then we learn something from it. Of course, data is also can be a powerful tool for building arguments and for giving a different perspective to the users of our space in the cities.